What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got the other secret rare Digimon TCG card to talk about. A couple of days ago we looked at the first secret rare. I told you there would be another. There is another. And what's super weird here is that we've got another level 7 Digimon, which of course is weird because every set we've had up till now has only had one level 7 Digimon. But we've already seen in Union Impact, we've already had revealed one level 7, Ragnarlordmon, as I'm sure you know by now. Well, now we've got a second, making this the first set that's actually given us multiple level 7 Digimon. I'm sure that's true. If I have forgotten something obvious, do let me know in the comment section, but we had Omnimon back in New Evolution, we had Millenniummon in Ultimate Power, and that brings us to this set. Is it any good, though? Is it better than the other one? Is it a big bag of wonderful? Well, let's have a gander. It is a white Digimon for what it's worth. Generally speaking, we've not seen many whites at all. And what we've got here is Omegamon Alter S. Interesting to note that the name does actually have Alter S in English in the title there, which is kind of cool. Now, our translation comes from the lovely Jason Snowjack. Stop us if you've heard that one before. And what we've got is a 15 cost to play normally, which is very expensive, but it is a level 7. A 6 cost to evolve, which is very expensive, but it is a level 7. Interesting to note, you can evolve either from a red or a black Digimon here. And we've got a 15,000 power Digimon, which makes it the joint highest we've seen so far. Now, there are some Digimon that can boost themselves up, etc., etc., but in terms of natural printed power without boosting it, 15,000 is the highest we've seen so far. What's it joint with? The other Omegamon or Omnimon? Look, all I can tell you is that it's officially Omnimon in English because we've had it revealed. Please go take it up with Bandai if you disagree. But the point here is that we've got the same stats, and they haven't heard Omnimon seeing play, so Alter S feels like it could see a bit of play as well. But let's be clear, it's not the stats that make Omnimon see play. It is the skills. So what do we have on Alter S here? When you evolve, de-digivolve 1 to all of your opponent's Digimon. Now, that alone is pretty good. De-digivolve is that skill whereby you essentially discard the top evolution of all of your opponent's Digimon, or here it is at least. So, level 6s go down to the level 5s, level 5s go down to the level 4s, and so on and so forth. Although do remember that this will not destroy a Digimon. Digimon with no evolution sources are immune to this. And do obviously remember that this cannot put a level 3 down to a level 2, because level 2s do not exist in the battle area. They only exist in the, what we now know is called the breeding area. Again, take it up with Bandai. So that's good. Okay, fine, there's going to be some that get away from it, but generally speaking, this is going to kind of wreck your opponent's setup pretty awesome. Well, awesome for you, less awesome for them. And once you've done the whole de-digivolving thing, you destroy all of your opponent's Digimon that are 5,000 power or below. That is frankly ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely ridiculous. This is a phenomenal skill. And there's two things at play here, and they both really are absolutely fantastic. Number one, the fact that you are devolving all of your opponent's Digimon. Now, generally speaking, one of three things logically has to have happened as your opponent is playing the game. Either they're going for one of those rookie rush decks and they've got lots of small Digimon out, and you're not going to devolve them because they haven't bothered evolving up, but they are going to get destroyed because they've got 5,000 power or less, you win. Or your opponent's done lots of evolving, so you get to devolve each of their Digimon one stage, getting rid of the highest stage on each of them. That sounds pretty good for me. You win. Or Your opponent has played lots of high-level Digimon naturally without evolving them, but that takes lots of memory, so they're not going to have many Digimon out, so you're probably going to be okay. However your opponent is choosing to play the game, this is either going to hurt your opponent, or just confirm to you that you don't need to worry too much about it. Everything is fine. This is a phenomenally powerful skill, and while we're here, we should just remind ourselves about these Rookie Rush decks. We've seen plenty of counters to them. We've seen, we saw Omnimon, who destroys one of your opponent's Digimon and all your opponent's Digimon that share a name with them. So if there's lots of Gabumon, for instance, they all go down. We've seen things like Lightning Paws, the option card, or Lightning Paw, that will destroy or delete 3 of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 power or less. I mean, it lowers the power by 4,000, but one of the best things about this is to counter Rookie Rush. 3 costs to take out 3 Digimon is often going to be a pretty good trade. But I don't think anything in terms of anti-Rookie Rush has ever been quite as ridiculous as this. Now, to be fair, it's a level 7, it takes a while to get going, you've got to get it rolling, etc. But against a Rookie Rush deck, you should, in a very literal sense of the word, be clearing your opponent's board. You should be deleting every single Digimon that they have, which is genuinely awesome. That is going to hurt. And there's even another skill here as well. When you attack, you may return 1 level 6 evolution source from this Digimon to your hand, and then this Digimon cannot be blocked for this turn. And I don't like this as much as I like Omnimon. We'll get to there in a second. I mean, returning a level 6 to your hand is quite nice, because you're getting that red or black level 6. It's back in your hand. If it didn't have an inheritable skill, and bar a couple of rare exceptions, level 6s don't, then it's back in your hand, and you can either evolve a level 5 you've got on the field, or you can just play it normally, but it's in your hand ready to play normally. I mean, something like Blitz Greymon that's got piercing, but when you digivolve, you devolve one of your opponent's Digimon by 2 stages. So, of course, the theory here is you've got a level 5 on the board, you attack with Alter S here, and then you put Blitz Greymon in your hand, and then you evolve one of your level 5s on the board, and then Alter S can't be blocked, and then you can evolve back up into Blitz Greymon and do another Digivolving, which of course can potentially be combined with a Digivolving you've already done with Alter S previously, and this adds up pretty nicely, pretty quickly. Perfect? No, but kinda nice. As for the not being blocked, can be good. I mean, clearly stopping your opponent blocking can be a good thing. You want to take out security, or your opponent has no security, so you want to attack and win the game. In these situations, not being blocked is clearly an excellent, excellent thing. If you've been able to give yourself multiple extra security attacks, clearly that would put you as a great candidate to be blocked. So stopping you being blocked is awesome. But honestly, most of the time, I'd rather have Omnimon's ability. The one whereby you can return a level 6 Digimon for the evolution sources to your hand. Exactly the same thing my analysis holds true. But then it becomes active so you can attack again. And the thing is, you've got 15,000 power, right? So, what's blocking you? You would need something like an Omnimon that has been given blocker in order to block you. So, the fact of the matter is, even if your opponent blocks you with Omnimon, you attack, and they block you, but you destroy the blocker, and then you return to level 6 and make yourself active. I don't see how Alter S has a better second skill than just regular Omnimon. And I honestly don't think it does for what it's worth. I like this skill a lot worse. But I like the first skill a lot better, and that to me gives an interesting comparison between the two. The stats are exactly the same, and for what it's worth, they can actually both evolve from red decks. In a blue deck, you've got to go Omnimon. In a black deck, you've got to go Alter S. Outside of that, stats-wise, they're the same. But the first skill, I prefer Alter S here, because the devolving can absolutely wreck your opponent. It can take, I mean, if they've got 3 level 6s out, all those level 6s go to level 5s, and your opponent doesn't want the level 5s, they want the level 6s. That's why they evolved up in the first place. But then the fact that you can just wipe out all of their smaller Digimon is kind of hilarious. Now, getting rid of all Digimon with the same name, I mean, clearly great against Diaboromon. Incidentally, Diaboromon is the other Digimon that is a white Digimon, the only non-level 7, because when you attack, you play a Diaboromon token, which is basically a new Diaboromon with 3000 DP. So clearly, if they've attacked lots and got lots of Diaboromon out, you'll clear the board. Yay! Outside of that one matchup, I much prefer Ultra-S's first skill. But the second skill, I would rather let my opponent block me because I'm huge and I'm going to win anyway, and then make myself active. And a lot of the time they're not going to block you, so you just get 2 uses that just make sure I can't be blocked. So, call it a draw, I suppose. This is still a phenomenally exciting Digimon, and we'll put it this way. I'm currently working on a list of the top 10 most exciting Digimon from sets 1 to 3, Booster 1.0 and 1.5 outside of Japan. And I hadn't bothered making that list yet because I wanted to see what the other secret rare was, because I thought there's a decent chance it would end up on the list. I think it's probably a good thing that I waited. But I'd like to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, which is where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.